are things that I use myself or have used with my clients, and they work wonders. They totally make a difference in your everyday life. So much so that you don't even realize that you're just getting things done quicker. You're able to retrieve things a lot faster, and putting things away, not just by you, but by everyone, is so much simpler. Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Dianne 𝗵𝗡𝗏, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here and joining me for another episode of Parenting Guide, Organizing Habits Made Easy podcast. And today's episode is a good one because I will be listing 13 organizing tools that you should use if you want to get organized like yesterday, as in ASAP. So this list of 13 items are things that I use myself or have used with my clients, and they work wonders. They totally make a difference in your everyday life. So much so that you don't even realize that you're just getting things done quicker. You're able to retrieve things a lot faster, and putting things away, not just by you, but by everyone, is so much simpler. So grab a pen and paper or just take a good listen because I'll be linking them or referencing them in today's show notes. So sit back, relax, and let's get to this. So in no particular order, I'm going to be talking about these next 3 items because they pretty much come from the same company. If you haven't heard it before or haven't heard me talking about it before, it's 3M Innovation. This is not a commercial for them. I am not an affiliate. I just love their products because they're so good. I use them everywhere for hats, school bags, clothes, even my squeegee in the shower. Any guesses what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the organizing solution that you use to hang things, that you peel off the back and then stick them to the wall. They last for years, so long as you respect the weight limit of these things. And they come in a variety of packs, of sizes, and weight capacity, as well as the different types of surfaces that you can use them on. So, like I said, I have one in my shower where you can hang the squeegee. So, if they can stick onto a wet surface, I'm sold. I don't know about you, but if I have a little bit more options, then I'm totally in. So the 3 different types of hooks that I have are the regular hooks, the one for the school bags, or the ones that I use to hang up my kids' clothes. Well, I put them in my kids' rooms, and it's up to them to keep their clothes off the floor. So if you have an issue with clothes being on the floor, like it happens at my house, well, this might be your saving grace here. You put the hooks near the closet door or near the door when they walk in so that they can just hang their sweaters or their extra clothes that are semi-clean-ish, not yet fully dirty, but they can hang them there as opposed to leaving them on the floor or just tossing them on a chair or their dresser. So it definitely reduces the clutter that you see all around once you install these hooks. And don't forget to also show the kids where these things are and how they work. It's so simple, it's almost stupid, but it's important that we introduce these organizing solutions and these new systems to them because you know what? They're not at the same pace as us. They are not paying attention to any of these things. We are. So if you want something done and you want it done properly, it takes a good introduction to it and a few follow-ups. So hang in there, mama. You got this. So the other type of hooks that I like are the Velcro ones. They have these ones where it's the ones that you hold the paintings. They show it on the picture on the cover of the packaging. But what I love using them for is to hold up my plastic folders, and I stick these plastic folders in the inside door of my pantry. So if you've ever seen my kitchen on a video or something, but I don't have a lot of wall space. I don't have a lot of wall space to begin with in my entire house, but that's another story for another day. But anyhow, I saw this great idea of just using that space inside a cabinet door or a pantry door to hang up some important documents, or even kind of like part of your command center. So inside my pantry, I have 2 folders that are hooked up or hung by the Velcro sticky hooks. So the male Velcro will be on the door and the female will be stuck onto the item that I want hung. In this case, is my plastic folder. And inside these plastic folders, I place the kids' school documents in there, like passwords and permission slips, and even their labels. Now, ideally, I'd have a folder for each kid, but like I said, I don't have a lot of wall space and a very limited cabinet space. Plus, I don't want every single cabinet to have a folder system, So I just keep it simple and keep one folder for the kids, and the other one is for everything else, like coupons, McDonald's coupons, and free ice cream coupons, the important stuff. But the plastic folders hooked onto the Velcro inside the cabinet is a total game changer and a space saver. So whenever I need to retrieve these documents, they're easy to find and they're accessible to everyone. All right, this last example of hooks is probably my favorite one, and it's the latest one to my hook collection. No, I don't have a collection, but it's my latest addition to the hook family, and that is the one that holds the dish rag. The one that you wipe all the surfaces with? Anyhow, I remember seeing this hook system a long time ago. I think it was back in the 90s or something. And when I started my organizing business, I couldn't find these things. They were nowhere to be found. So one day I just decided to look up hooks for rags. And funny enough, there it was. How long these have been there, I have no idea. But I'm so happy to have found them online because I hadn't seen them at the stores. So now my rags don't fall off because I used to hang them over the oven rail or the dishwasher rail. And every time someone would pass by the oven or the dishwasher, they'd fall to the floor because they're so light. Ugh, so annoying, right? But with these new hook system where you just stick a corner of the rag into the hole, it's awesome. And I put these hooks in the inside cabinet under my sink. Now, I posted a video on Instagram and on TikTok, and I'm not sure if I put them on Facebook, but in any case, I'll link it on the show notes so you know exactly what I mean. And this thing, total game changer. I also have it in the inside cabinet in my bathroom, and one right next to the shower, and it's hidden right next to the toilet. So when you walk in, it's not the first thing you see on the wall. It's actually right next to the tank of the toilet, which is right between the shower stall. So it's a little inconspicuous place that I love, and the rag is hanging there. So whenever you take a shower, or when someone takes a shower, the rag's right there, ready to be used to wipe down the wet surfaces of the chrome and any kind of wet surface where you don't want the moisture to seep in. And it's perfectly placed for that quick, clean, and tidy. And you hang it back up and it's drying all overnight, ready to be used the next time you take a shower. So the 2 hooks I mentioned earlier, the Velcro and the regular hooks, you can find them anywhere on Amazon, online, or at any store. Even the dollar store has them. But the last one I mentioned, the one for the rags, I said earlier that it was from 3M Innovation product. I made a mistake. It's not. Just do a Google search or even search it on Amazon for hooks for rags or hooks to hang rags on, something like that. You know what I mean. Okay, moving on. Now the next 3 organizing solutions to get organized ASAP, like yesterday, are the ones that will help ease the access, meaning it's easy to grab something because you got this tool. And it also is a solution that maximizes the space. especially tight, small spaces. Number 4 are the metal shelves. Now, I'm not talking about these massive shelves that are from floor to ceiling high and 4 feet wide, although those do work, but I'm talking about the small shelves, like the ones that you can stack plates on and you can slide the bowls underneath, or anywhere basically that you can take advantage of the vertical space. Now, these shelves are quite small. You can carry them in one hand, and they vary in shape and sizes. So you can have square ones, rectangular ones, and the ones that can be perfectly placed in the corner of a cabinet where you can stack bowls and plates, and underneath something else. So some of the rectangular shelves are adjustable, and they're great because, especially if you use them under the sink and the piping is in the way, you can adjust the length so that the shelf is on one side, and then on the other side of the pipe, the shelf continues. So just to be clear, you have shelf, piping, and then shelf. So you have freedom to place your products on the shelves and underneath without the pipe getting in the way. So whatever size and shape shelf you want to get, that was weird to say, you can get them online, definitely, or check out your local dollar store, Walmart and Target. All those places will carry some sort of shelving. You just have to find the one that works for you. Now be careful and make sure that the space underneath is maximized, meaning that the legs aren't tapered. Now, if you get those, it's not a big deal, but if you want to maximize really your space, make sure the legs go straight down, like on a 90-degree angle, because I find that the ones at the dollar store sometimes, like the white ones, they taper in and I lose a little bit of space underneath. So I can't slide things as smoothly underneath as I'd like. So just make sure of that, and don't forget to measure your space to make sure the shelf fits, meaning you have enough space at the top to put products on top of the shelf and that you can close the cabinet door. All right, so measure twice and then get the one that works for you. Speaking of vertical space and having easy access is number 5, the tiered shelf. So typically you'd use this in the pantry or in the kitchen cabinet, so you have access to those cans or those bottles that are way in the back in your cabinet. Have you ever had that happen to you where you're trying to reach something in the back and everything in the front just topples over or falls to the front? Annoying. So a good solution for that is to get a tiered shelf. And they have several pretty much anywhere, like at HomeSense and even the dollar store. I know I keep mentioning the dollar store, but hey, they are picking up the slack on all the organizing products and they're pretty competitive. Price aside, they have a good variety of different things at the dollar store. I get surprised and delighted every time I go there because organizing solutions shouldn't have to be so expensive. That being said, some things are really good and well worth it. Well, the price is a no-brainer. Whereas some things are not so great, but you get what you pay for. So just be wary about the dollar store. You can get some really good finds in there for an awesome price, and some things are just not worth it at all. So my last storage solution in this category of maximizing the space and having easy access is the well-known Lazy Susan. And this is number 6 of 13 organizing solutions, just in case you wanted to keep track. I got you. Now, these things come in a variety of diameters. So pick one that works for your cabinet. These are great for reaching those bottles and the cans that are in this weird shaped cabinet, like the corner cabinet, where the door is at an angle, and so you basically lose a little bit of shelf space. So Lazy Susans work great here. We have one in the bottom shelf of our corner cabinet because it's so hard to access the back. And on that Lazy Susan is the jar where we keep our tea bags and a Tupperware with our protein powder, along with some sachets or little packets of chocolate milk for the kids. I don't know, but there's something so satisfying in spinning that Lazy Susan to grab whatever it is that you need in the back and nothing spilling over on the side or out of the cabinet. You feel like you're on top of the world right there. Ever forget to wash something so you just pull it out of the hamper? How many times have the kids run out of clean underwear? And forget trying to remember the last time the sheets and blankets were even washed. Leave the guesswork and uncertainty behind and download my PDF guide right now. In this new guide I created, I walk you through step by step on how to plan and schedule your laundry items so that you'll have peace of mind knowing there's a plan to follow. When there's a plan, there's no extra thinking involved on your part. I also provide you with the tips and tricks on how to get kids started and involved. Included in this PDF guide is an example of what our laundry schedule looks like right now, so you have an idea of how it all works. Don't let laundry overload you anymore. Take control and let this guide do the thinking for you. Head to diannejimenez.com/laundry schedule. All right, let's keep going. So far, we have 6 must-have organizing solutions if you want to get organized right away, like yesterday. So 6 down, 7 more to go. And this category is about containing. Now, this is so important here, especially if you're trying to organize or declutter. And the reason why there's clutter everywhere is because our things are not contained. There's no structure. So what better way to create that contained feeling and look, or that structure, than by using containers? Now, there's a variety of containers out there, from plastic to fabric to wooden ones to beautiful expensive baskets to whatever container you can find or have repurposed for that goal. It's all good. And another thing about containers, you don't have to get the square ones or the rectangular ones, although they prove to use the space a lot better because, they're right angles and our drawers and cabinets are usually right angled, right? But nothing says you can't use something cylindrical. So if that works for you and it is a little bit more appealing than seeing squares all the time, sometimes changing up the shape of your containers will make the space look that much more put together, interesting, and beautiful to look at. So let's start with bins, the plastic ones. They can come in different colors and even clear. Now, these are great if you're just starting to organize or want to get organized because they are multi-purpose. From holding food together to crayons and art supplies to clothing. I remember years ago, way before I was an organizer, when our kids were still small or they were babies, the first things we got were plastic bins to store the clothes that they were going to grow into and store the clothes that they have overgrown and ready for the next kid. I also use plastic containers like shoe boxes to store all my lovely shoes and sexy heels. But now I found this great piece of furniture that doubles as an ottoman and a shoe organizer. I took a picture of this piece of furniture and I'll make sure to link it in today's show notes. A final advantage or a final example of using plastic bins, containers, and baskets is the ability to grab or reach things that are way up above our eye level. So anything that's not used often and they're all up at the top shelf, all cluttered there, instead of getting those little things down one by one, put everything in a basket so it's a one-time reach and then a one-time put back. I'll link in today's show notes a quick video I made a few years ago showing just this, so you understand what I mean. Okay, let's keep going with number 8 of 13 organizing solutions to help you get organized right away. Magazine holders. Now, this is great if you have actual magazines that can't hold up, like I'm talking about the Lego manuals. They don't hold up very well. So putting them in a magazine folder really works and keeps everything nice and tight. I also use these magazine holders to hold my kids' drawings and doodles that they accumulate. All those papers, it's a mess. So it's better to just keep the clutter contained in a magazine holder. And you can get real cheap ones at IKEA. I think they sell them for 3 or 5 of them for just a few bucks. Also, they come in different materials like metal, cardboard, and even plastic, and in different colors. This is at different stores, not IKEA. Just want to be clear about that. So all in all, these things are great in containing loose, floppy clutter. So speaking of loose and floppy, recently I just organized my desk because I got a new monitor. It's a lot larger than working on a laptop. Trust me, it helps, especially when you're working with multiple windows open. Anyhow, I had to deal with all the wiring in the back, where the plug is. So these next two organizing solutions that work and are wonderful is how to deal with all those wires. In my case, it was the wires that were near the plug, like I said, because I have the monitor, the camera, my microphone, the laptop that's hooked in, and also the printer. So there's a lot of things going on back there, but I'm also talking about the wires that are not in use, that are just waiting there and sitting in a drawer or in a plastic bag or whatever it is. All those wires need to be contained in the drawer or the container, right? You can find all of these cool and do-it-yourself 5-minute crafts on Instagram and on TikTok. Sure, you can do that, but you can also just contain the wires by wrapping them up. So my first one, which is number 9, is something that I found yet again at the dollar store, and it's these Velcro wraps. Now you can use twist ties or elastics, but I like these Velcro wraps, and I'll tell you why. At our house, the wires that we have in a drawer, they're usually wrapped with the Velcro strap, where the wire is looped inside it so that when you undo the wires, the Velcro strap is still attached. It's really cool. So when you need to coil it back up, you have the Velcro strap already ready to hold everything together. And if you want to get really fancy, you know how we have all these cables that are different for different purposes and devices? Well, you can organize them in Ziploc bags by putting all the like wires together. I'm a geek like that, but hey, it works and it's so convenient when you're looking for that specific wire. So number 10 when it comes to wires is the one that will contain the wires that are by the plug. So there's a lot of solutions. You can use twist ties again, but in my case, I use this coily plastic tube that wraps all the wires together so it looks like you have this one big giant wire. And instead of having multiple straggly things hanging from the back of your desk and decorating the wall, only to just end up at the same place, which is the plug in the back. It's not pretty. So consolidate all the wires either using twist ties or like me, using this plastic tube that keeps all the wires together. Here's where you can start. You can just do a Google search, wire organizer wall, and you'll get all these images and links of where you can get these wire organizers. Okay, super exciting. We're at the home stretch now, number 11. Now, I mentioned this just a minute ago, and that was Ziploc bags or plastic zipper sealed bags, whatever you want to call it. But these bags are multi-use, durable, and so convenient. They also come in different material like fabric. But I find plastic ones are so much better because they're wipeable and waterproof. Also, they come in a variety of sizes from small to really large, so you can organize many things, like keeping game board pieces or even puzzles together. You just simply cut up the picture of what the game is, keep the instructions in that case, and all the parts along with it. So you don't have these awkward boxes that are bent and ripped and flattened from just not being put away properly. So these bags can also be put in a bigger container, like a basket, so that everything is kept nice, neat, and consolidated. In addition, they're easy to grab, so when you go to, say, grandma's house or to their friend's house, it's a quick grab and into the knapsack, and away they go with their game, instructions, and how to play on hand. All right, number 12, the second to last one. And speaking of plastic bags and consolidating everything, you know all those shopping bags and plastic bags and reusable bags that we have? First, let's talk about your reusable bags. How are you organizing them? Are they easy to grab, easy to use, and exactly where you need them, when you need them? Have a listen to my episode number 33. How many bags do we really need? Where I give you tips and strategies on how to make sure you don't have too many bags, and if you do have too many, how to bring it down to a maintainable amount, and also how to not forget bringing your shopping bags to the store versus having to buy more. You can get the link in the show notes or head to diannejimenez.com/33. Secondly, let's talk about storing these bags, whether it's plastic or reusable. Now, for the plastic bags, we have this thing we got at IKEA years ago, and it's basically this plastic bag holder that's cylindrical with a bunch of holes all around it. So you just stuff all the plastic bags in there, and from the holes, you just pull out the plastic bag that you need. This is ideal if you don't want to spend your time folding and you don't care what it looks like as long as everything is contained. If you Google cheap ways to organize plastic bags, you'll see the variety of inexpensive products that you can get online to start getting organized today. Now, there are other ways to organize and store these plastic bags, and that's if you like or don't mind folding them. One is putting them all in a container or a plastic bin with a lid so that they're easy access anytime you use them, and you pop that plastic bin or container in your car or under your sink or wherever you need plastic bags. Another way is using Kleenex boxes. So you fold them neatly in a certain way, and I saw this online. I'm sure you can see it anywhere, but basically you're using a Kleenex box, an empty Kleenex box, and folding your plastic bags a certain way so that whenever you need your plastic bags, it's right there. So it kind of looks like Kleenex, but it's not. It's plastic bag. And the same goes for the large Lysol wipe containers, the plastic cylindrical ones. Again, there's a way to fold it or to place it so that you can pull them out as if they're wipes. There are tons of ways to store these things. You just got to find the right one that works for you and the way you move and how you like to maintain things. So it's an easy grab for those wet shoes or for the last minute, I need to carry all this extra stuff to school for some reason. So in regards to the reusable bags, the ones that I need when I go to the grocery store, I simply fold them up neatly and stick them in the rectangular compartment that's already in my car. And I don't use more than that. I used to shove everything inside one big bag, but that I found was so messy whenever I'd open my trunk because the bags had been flip-flopping all over the place. So nowadays, I just fold everything and it's literally 30 seconds and then just stuff them nicely in that small container. You can also find trunk organizers where you can put all your folded reusable bags in them too. My friend has a car or a trunk organizer and it looks so nice and neat and organized whenever you pop open that trunk. Okay, here we are, the final organizing solution to get organized right away, as in today. It's number 13, drawer organizers. Now, every house has this, a junk drawer. Okay, you might have several junk drawers in many rooms of your house, if not all of them. So drawer organizers are your best bet here, and they come in a multitude of solutions and configurations that you can find anywhere from the dollar store. You'd think I'd have stocks from the multiple times I'm mentioning them. I don't, but yes, the dollar store is a great place, to the office supply stores, big box stores, and all the varieties and unlimited selections you can find online, such as trays, little containers that you clip in together, to even just drawer dividers. Just a word of caution here, make sure when you do decide to install drawer organizers to take into consideration the height of your drawers. You want to make sure the drawers close properly. Now, junk drawers aren't the only places to install these drawer dividers or organizers. They are great with separating clothes to organizing your utensil drawer and the multiple kitchen gadgets, cooking, and baking utensils. All right, we did it. I just gave you my 13 organizing solutions to get your home and spaces organized today. If you liked today's podcast episode, let me know in the comments in my blog, or even send me a DM on Instagram. If you have a friend or a group of friends who can use some guidance and who's been hinting at organizing their space, but they just didn't know how or where to start, send them the link to this episode. They will truly appreciate it, and so will I. All right, my friends, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I so appreciate it. And I will see you again next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.